Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe. Today we're going to be playing some Arena Singleton on MTG Arena. So it's basically like EDH or Commander, you're playing one of a bunch of stuff. Before we get started, there's another free promo code, so I wanted to just kind of let everyone know about it. It's Shields Up. Shields Up gets you a Teo Shield Mage, so it's the alternate art stained glass. But let's build some decks. So we're going to be playing Singleton today. So this here, we're going to be doing, I want to play Simic first. So usually what I do to get started is throw together a bunch of cards, go from there. So we got our lands. Basically, I want to play around primarily. Where are you? Prime Speaker Vannifar. So this is the card I want to build around. Basically, it's a Birthing Pod style deck. So Birthing Pod is basically the ability that's stapled onto Prime Speaker Vannifar, where you can sacrifice a creature, and by sacrificing it, you get to bring a creature from the graveyard, from your library with converted mana cost 1 or more into play. So kind of use it like a toolbox, get things into play. So I'm just going to stick together a bunch of good cards. Tamiyo is good, Prime Speaker is good, Bioessence. What do you do when it enters the battlefield? You remove any number of 1/1 counters. Nah. Roalesk is good. I don't know how fast this format is. I don't know what to expect yet, so it's a learning opportunity. Neoform is awesome in this deck. Some clone shenanigans maybe could be fun. Maybe also be able to shut off an ultimate in a pinch. What do you do? Okay, you're pretty good. Kiora is good. Incubation helps us dig. We'll try you out. Kumena doesn't do as much in this deck. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Pretty decent mana sink. We'll play you. Your card draw. This is the fun part. Oh, we only got 60 cards to play. So we're going to have to make some cuts, obviously. In that case, let's not be as crazy with our spells. We also need to kind of see that we have a curve. Like right now we have nothing in a 3-drop spot. Let's see what we have. I think they said there's like a lot of planeswalkers. Memorial to Genius is a good mana card. We want to play creatures. We want to get rid of planeswalkers, most likely. So what could be good? Fblthp isn't bad. It's basically card draw. When you're playing a Singleton format, you just want to make sure you can hit your stuff. Don't really have much in terms of like wizards in this particular build. Probably go more green creatures, to be honest. We can see what we have there. Narset, we're not really playing much in terms of non-creature spells. Psychic Corrosion, not really where we want to be. We're not playing a mill deck necessarily. Kasmina could be pretty interesting, help protect our stuff. Plus we got that sweet stain art glass. Jace, ooh, Kefnet's good. We definitely want a Kefnet. Card draw and Chemist's Insight could probably be good. We're going to have to make some cuts, so we'll see what we got going first. Spark doubled, yes. Actually, I want that other clone card, the 3 mana. Where are you? Mirror Image. We're going to play some clones. We're going to play out creatures, clone them. We got to put in some oozes. Tez is probably pretty good just to create creatures. Probably try that out. Play some Tez. Bolas clutches. Dream Eater's good. Nexus is probably banned. River's Rebuke's a good way to reset the board. Mass Manipulation is good. Entrancing Melodies is good. Do we want to try Omniscience? I don't think we could reasonably get to that much mana. Again, I don't know how fast this format is, so we'll see. Omniscience is fun, but I'm playing this more like EDH than I am anything else. Llanowar Elves, a Boreal Grazer in there. What do you do? Put it into your hand. It's utility card draw on a land. Similar to EDH, you want to play cards that help you dig deeper. Like Bonds of Flourishing helps smooth out our draw. Growth Chamber Guardian's obviously not as good in this format. Look at the top card of your library if it's a Vand. That could be pretty useful. This is what's fun about this format. You can pretty much just play like random stuff. Crawl Harpooner to get rid of flyers. Merfolk Branchwalker could smooth out. Incubation Druid. We'll do some cuts in a bit. I just want to get everything in. Viridian Arkbow or Vivian Arkbow is good. The Ram's not as good. What do you do again? Can help smooth out our mana drop. Gives us something in the 3-drop spot. Get a Merfolk Branchwalker. Growing Rights in there. I love this format. Get a Vivian in there. Get Rexage. Ripjaw Raptor's good. Do we want Circuitous Roots? Nah, we'll hang off on that. Ooh, this card. This is one of the best cards you can play in this format. So basically it makes that every time because you're only playing Singleton, you don't have multiple creatures, you just play it, and any creature, and you just draw cards off them. When it enters the battlefield, if it's kicked, you can fight another creature, could be useful. Nisa could be interesting. I'm just here for the jank. The only other... Oh, Carnage Tyrant. This format's awesome. Finale of Devastation. Let's just see... Planeswalkers. See if there's any of the dual color ones that are relevant. None of you. This gives our creatures haste, so that could be kind of interesting. Play it off color. Alright, so we got 15 cards too many. How I play every EDH deck ever. Okay, so Applied Biomancy's gone. Growth Spiral could probably go. Fblthp's not bad. Incubation Druid helps us ramp. Could probably get rid of you. I like Neoform. I like Entrancing Melodies. Could get rid of you. Incubation's pretty versatile of a card. Your removal. Sharko Crab could go away. I think I'm going to be tapping out a lot, so Frilled Mystic's probably not as needed. Get rid of Chemisters. Get rid of Kasmina. Tamiyo's good for recycling one-ofs. Get rid of you. Bioessence Hydra is probably not as good. Tatyova gives us card draw, which I like. Could probably get rid of the Tez. 4 cards to cut. Our curve's pretty high, so we probably want the 24 lands at least. Get rid of a Boreal Grazer. To be honest, probably get rid of Llanowar Elf. Like, the chances of drawing it when you only play 1 on turn 1 is pretty low. 2 more cuts. 2 more cuts. Nisa, what are you doing for us? River's Rebuke is a good reset. Growing Rights helps us get ahead. Probably get rid of District Guide. And I like Dried Green Speaker. Like Jade Light, Spark Double. This is tough. Last pick. What do we take out? Just get rid of Dream Eater. Just play like that. And then let's just see if there's any utility lands we want. Lands. Oh, I want lands, not planeswalkers. So we got those. Is there any colorless lands we want? Probably an Arch of Araska and a Blast Zone could be interesting. Probably an Evolving Wilds and a Field of Ruin. Mobilized District. Yeah, we'll go like that. 4 off color. Is that too many? Got a lot of double color, so maybe not for Arch. It's probably too slow. We'll go like that. And then, do we want Karn in this deck? Now let's try it like this. So Simic singles, this is the deck we're going to be trying out first. Basically a creature Prime Speaker deck. So let's run it through some matchups and go from there. See how this format is, and we can tweak. I'm going to be on hopefully most of tomorrow, Saturday, to play some games. We'll test out a bunch of different decks, see what works well, what doesn't. If you're tuning in live, or if this is the first time you've catched my channel, I'm MTG Joe. We play everything from tier 1 decks, competitive, to janky budget brews. Budget's probably my favorite. I do a bunch of build guide series if you haven't checked it out on the channel. If you haven't done so already, something that helps the channel out a lot is if you hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Costs you nothing and goes a long way to helping to support the channel. Alright, so this hand here is a little awkward that we actually have a bunch of tap lines. But generally speaking, this is a redraw, and I like these cards, so we'll try it out. I'm not going to be picky hitting our mana on color. You always want your Guildgate on 1. We don't play any 1-drops, so works out. So with these lists, I'm going to post them at the end. Oh, this is the... Oh, opponent's got Sphinx of Foresight. Actually, that was the card we should probably have put in our deck. That might be something worth adding. The fun thing with this Singleton format too is basically what cards do you have in your collection? Throw them together, see what works. There's no exact science. It's EDH, you pay your pet cards. I love Prime Speaker Vannifar. It's not good enough for Standard, unfortunately, but when I can play it, I will. Here, let's just go Memorial here. Would have liked an untapped land there, but we can play this. Hopefully draw into an untapped land to play Ripjaw. We'll play some Fblthp. Opponent might be playing some sort of, like, is it Phoenix style deck? Oy. So let's go get a forest here. Pass turn. So this only gets creatures. So do you get creatures? You also only get creatures. Neoform. Okay, so that hopefully can get us to like a Jade Light Ranger. Probably gonna hold this just as like an exile effect. Alright, what can we get? What can we get? I know we have the Jade Light. We took out the District Guide, which is actually what we wanted probably. Here, let's just go Jade Light Ranger. This can get pretty big too. Graveyard, we want lands. Perfect. I'm gonna pass now. Opponent might have a burn spell for our little ranger here. Lightning Strike, perhaps. Next turn, if I draw land, I'll go Biogenic Ooze. If not, Ripjaw Raptor. Actually, on an empty board, Nisa might... But they might have counter spells. Like, they got a lot of cards in hand. They opted to not flashback Radical Idea. Let's see if they trade here. So you flip when there's at the upkeep if you control 4 more creatures. You can kill, but I'll wait till next turn for that. Let's get Ripjaw going. Next turn we can set up a Growing Rites and play a Crawl Harpooner, kill that. Alright, opponent, what do you got? Is it like spells could be a cool deck? Basically play like a Phoenix deck, but one of. Also try a Teamer deck, so red, blue, green most likely. That's my favorite color. That in Grixis in EDH. A lot of cool things you can do. Alright. Mr. Ral, what do you got?
The forces of nature can show us many things.
So we might be able to force them into the block this turn with Sphinx of Foresight if they want to protect Ral. Couple options here. We can Crawl Harpooner, guarantee killing Ral. They keep it on top, so I'm probably going to do that. Man, we don't play that many tap lands, but we've managed to draw all our tap lands. So we'll have those fight. Ral can get kind of out of control with their... like if they have double removal spell or double bounce spell. So let's just kill this now.
I guess there's no way to change what just happened.
We also don't have like a critical massive forest. Ooh, Hydroid Krasis is good. Refills our hand. I've been playing this card in Gruul lately for my ranked deck. That and Phoenix is a nice 4-drop slot. Never played with it much when it came out, but this when your opponent's got like a Legion War Boss. Niv Mizzet. Sir, I do not appreciate your Niv Mizzet. So here we're going to exile Niv. So opponent will get a chance to hit us for 1. You gotta kill a Niv. Like, it kinda throws us off temp. Interesting. Still give him the option to trade here. I just want to keep pushing in damage. The less they have on the board, the less Nissa doesn't get impacted. So next turn, we can play Nissa, tap this for mana, untap it with Nissa, tap it, and then play Biogenic Ooze. So get both of them out, which is pretty cool. Opponent's at 11 now. Gonna hold the Krasis to just refill our hand. Electrostatic field. Yeah, so opponent's on Izzet spells. Ooh, that's good too. Okay, so here... let's go to combat first, just in case we draw a land. If they somehow deal damage to this. Opponent's thinking about it. So opponent's taking their shots. That's for 5. Let's cast Nissa. Opponent have a counter spell. Ionize with electrostatic field's actually pretty cool because you get to basically lightning bolt your opponent and counter their spell. Opponent is playing slow. You got 4 cards in hand. Alright, so the Radical Idea, Chemister's Insight. So we tap the mana here, untap our forest, and then cast Biogenic Ooze. This also gives us 4 creatures that flips growing rights of Itlamok. And then we double the mana here, we get at least 4 mana off this. Play a huge Hydroid Krasis. So they have the Essence Scatter. That's fine. Opponent's still pretty far behind. They have the option of shooting down one of our forests. But we can just start poking in with our lands with Nisa. Murmuring Mystic can start making some blockers. We Drago. Yeah. Opponent's seen enough. 1-0. 1-0 with the deck. Alright, let's claim our prize. Probably play about 3 games with the deck and then be back with a couple other ones. With this format, I want to try as many decks as possible. This hand is interesting. We're pretty mono green. Let's just use this now. Get the Hydroid Krasis. Not the best. Hey. This is what I was hoping to find with Incubation. It was the next card. So this lets us play Ripjaw next turn, and then hopefully ramp out into Tendershoot Dryad. Opponent's on a Boros build. Next turn, Tendershoot. It's always funny when you play Singleton. You always end up finding like 1 card every single game, and this happens to be our Ripjaw Raptor. We have Territorial Allosaur, which in a couple turns can be served as removal as well. It's a nice 5/5 that fights when it comes into play. Tendershoot, if they don't have removal, is basically going to go unchecked and make a ton of things. Eventually we'll adapt this and then get a big Hydroid Krasis, refill our hand. Jeskai. Okay, opponent's got Prison Realm. Okay, they keep it on top, but actually not completely against. And with the River's Rebuke, that's actually pretty good to get our stuff back afterwards. So because they're in Jeskai colors, I'm going to try to not overcommit to the board. I'm going to adapt Incubation Druid come next turn. Tendershoot Dryad, until they answer it, will eventually just take over the game. Once they commit a bit more, we can River's Rebuke. Ideally, we'd like to hit a second blue source. Incubation right now can provide it, but in these colors, they're likely going to have removal. They're not going to prioritize it right now. Spark Double is interesting. We can Spark Double on top. Let's attack first. See what they do. I came here to have fun. We're playing Dryad Tribal, or Sapperling Tribal. 5/5s. So opponent needs a board wipe or they're dead next turn. Which is pretty sweet. This is turn 5 kill, I think. And we still got enough cards in hand to refill. Ah, so they had the board wipe. Here... Just gonna play this out as a 5/5. Want to try to get one more card to adapt there. We do have the Rebuke once they kind of settle a bit more down. So they insight here. So opponent's on Jeskai control. Nisa's a nice draw here.
Witness the ties that bind us all. The land fights for us.
So I'm gonna keep him off the island because although this could double in mana, I want to keep him off the island because our islands are only blue source. So they can bounce our forest. They could actually bounce our Allosaur here. That hurts a bit. 4, 5, 6.
Don't worry, I got it.
So here... I want to kill Teferi. Our Krasis doesn't get as big, but...
The land shall conquer you.
Getting Teferi off the board. We don't really have haste, so...
Only time will tell.
Oh, no. Oops. Almost screwed that up. Not drawing land there hurts a bit. Actually, Kiora with Nisa gets pretty funny. We can pump out a lot of mana next turn. We also present lethal again, so the opponent's got to do something.
Feel the heat of my blood. Your end has arrived.
And Gideon.
God's bless us in our righteous cause. Prepare for battle.
We need an island. Or actually... So you cast you untap. So untap you.
One drop ripples and grows.
We're going all in on our lands.
The elements.
Have it fight. We also get a card draw here. Jeez, just not drawing anything. Sarkhan could get some flyers in the air. Gideon doesn't do much on its own. I'm gonna probably get rid of Sarkhan here.
Listen to them roar. A dragon does not lose.
I'm also just gonna ultimate Nisa probably next turn. It'll deal with the fact we have no lands in play and then just kind of smooth out our other draws. We can also buy it back with Tamiyo after. There might have... You know what? We could have just Rivers Rebuked. That was silly of me. Bounced everything back. These two work really well together.
I will lend you my strength.
You're gonna attack. It's fine. You can shock it if you want. My niece is gonna ultimate. Chart a course. Surprisingly pretty rough. Opponents at 6. I don't really care at 6. Do they enter the play?
The land will help us find a way.
So, enters tapped. So here we could play Memorial. I can Neoform for Reclamation Sage. Or I can play this.
Let's get moving.
Let's go Reclamation Sage. Blow that up. And then we get to draw a card off Kiora. Got Guardian Project, that's just pure gas now for future turns. Probably get back the Nisa here. If they attack in, I don't care. Kiora's done what she needs to do. Alright, opponent's digging for an answer. What do you got? What do you got? Also could just block here. They got something. They certainly got something. But we got something better.
One less fiend to fight.
Good game. So that's basically so River's Rebuke is basically Cyclonic Rift in this format, the closest you could come. Guardian Project is basically a Rhystic Study style effect with creatures. We'll jam one more with this deck. 2-0 with it. This hand does nothing. We're gonna mulligan. Oh, this hand's even worse. Oh, this is London mulligan. Return 2 cards to top. To bottom. So, Carney T. And Field of Ruin. You know what? Entrancing Melody. I'm just gonna start getting Arcbow going. My boy Fibbles. Thank you, Fibbles. Perfect. Druid now. The whole gang's together. Next turn we can adapt Incubation Druid. No, no. You took our prime speaker. So, me and the opponent got beef now. Can't do much right now. We'll incubate Incubation Druid, play Arcbow, and start going. That flip was fine. Nothing too serious. So we'll adapt here. Tamiyo's not the best right now. Okay, so we can Arcbow, pay 5 into it. Probably just do that. Technically not searching, so it works with it. See if they have a counter spell here. Dovin's Veto. We'll just get it back.
The storied past holds our future.
Just pass turn here. We're gonna crack this after they activate Ashiok. It's kind of a standoff. Actually, it's kind of relevant. We wouldn't have been able to search with Evolving Wild. They got some goodies. We'll get a 4. No, we need a blue source. We got double green. We want double blue. Okay, so we got Prime Speaker. What did they hit here? Finale's gone. Kefnet's gone. I think we just go Guardian Project.
Seek and find.
Okay, so we didn't hit it. So here, I'm just gonna tap that. Okay, so since that resolved, I'm just gonna pump mana into it at the end of each turn. Gets around counter spells. Yeah. Got him. We're about 40 minutes in. We'll do one more quick. Okay, so we got the Wanderer. We got our stuff. Let's do one more quick one. Ten does nothing. hand two. This hand also does nothing. Keep this hand. Gotta return 2 cards, so you can go and Mirror Image can go. This London Mulligan's actually been pretty solid so far. Probably go Branch Walker into Jade Light. This gives us the most looks. Put some pressure. Perfect. Got Hinterland for next turn. So we're getting quite a bit of lands now. Play the land they know. They're gonna kill this in response. Graveyard that now. Keep that. So next turn we can a couple turns away from X4ing. So we get a land, but we gotta shuffle Finale away. Get an island. Play out Growth Chamber next turn.
I've lost so much already. I won't lose more.
This looks really nice, stained glass, especially the full art.
For the fallen.
That could be good in future turns. Want to get rid of that.
Now we're getting started.
So we'll just adapt Growth Chamber next turn. Okay, opponent's on Sultai.
Strike now. Strike hard.
So opponent likely has a creature for them to be doing this. Okay, Nisa's pretty good here. So here I'm just gonna play it safe. If they want to trade there, they can. Okay, Death Sprout. Lots of removal, but that protects our land from Nisa.
I will aid you. Be wary of ground to walk on.
So we'll just end the turn here. We can adapt Incubation Druid next turn. But we got some good pressure coming from our forests. Memorial can also in a pinch be used to get some more cards. Hostage Taker. Gotta do this in response to adapt. Don't think they can cast our forest.
There is one in a blade of grass.
Here. Just got another forest going.
Behold, nature's true power.
Just want to get Vivian off.
Not bad. For a mouse.
Here. Let's just do this now. Play a Prime Speaker. Just pass turn. Can mirror image the hostage. Oh no, we can't do theirs. Alright. Got another one. So 4-0 with the deck. Seems pretty solid. I'll post the full list on the YouTube and on AetherHub. And I'll be back sometime tomorrow with a couple more brews. Thanks for those who tuned in live. And if you have any questions or anything, just drop a comment in the chat below. Thanks for watching and have a happy FNM.